Hey guys! So today I'm going to be telling you about the updates about what my adjustment has been like moving to Washington, D.C. So as some of you may know, I am an avid traveler and I've traveled to 47 countries. And for the past 3 years, I've been living in other countries and traveling the world. So 3 years ago, I lived in Seoul, South Korea for a year teaching English to students. And while I was there, I was able to travel to 14 Asian countries. I backpacked around Southeast Asia, and I took weekend trips around South Korea to get to see a lot of Asia while I was living there for the year. After that experience, I moved to New York for a year to save up to get my master's degree, and then I moved to Dublin, Ireland to get my master's degree. So this past year I was in Dublin, Ireland, and while I was there I backpacked Europe, and I had already lived in Europe previously doing a study abroad program in Florence, Italy. So I had seen a lot of the more traditional countries in Europe, backpacking around there about 6 years ago now. And so this trip, when I was in Dublin, Ireland, I was able to backpack some more Scandinavian countries and some other countries that are a little more off the beaten path, such as Estonia. So as I mentioned, I've spent the last 3 years traveling, and that's really all I know. I know how to be a backpacker, I know how to travel, I know how to adjust to different cultures and live in different challenging situations and how to adjust to that. So moving to Washington, D.C. was a different challenge for me. So it wasn't a cultural challenge, but it was a professional challenge. So I actually decided to move to Washington, D.C. because I wanted to start to get more serious about my career. I do love traveling and I love living in different places, but I was kind of tired of just being able to teach English and I wanted more opportunities. So I decided to get my master's degree. And after getting my master's degree, I thought, well, I should probably use this. So I wanted to move to Washington, D.C. because there are tons of international relations opportunities in the city. So I moved here about early October, and I spent the last 4 months applying to jobs. And let me tell you that applying to jobs is such a difficult process, and if any of you have went through it, you totally understand, and it's a huge challenge. So you constantly apply to jobs and no one gets back to you, and it's quite frustrating actually when you're super overqualified for these positions. It's just a super competitive market. But after applying to so many jobs, I finally landed a job, and I'm so happy to announce that I'm actually going to be working at the Capitol building. So I'm going to be an administrative assistant, and I'm really excited for the opportunity. I think it's a great stepping stone to work in a more higher up government position. So this is very entry level in the government, but I'll be working in the main Capitol building, and I think I'll be exposed to a lot of Congress members, possibly even the president, a lot of lobbyists, and maybe some nonprofit organizations. So I think there's going to be a lot of exposure within this new position that I'm recently accepting. So I think it's a great stepping stone for me professionally, and I'm really hoping that something big comes out of it. So the reason that I'm mentioning this to you is because I feel like I have a lot of new goals now that I am slowing down a little bit on the traveling and focusing more on my career. So some of my professional goals are to really climb the ladder and really see where I can grow within this industry, because I'm not going to lie, after traveling to so many countries and having all of these incredible opportunities, I do feel a little bit behind professionally. I feel as if that I'm starting out as an overqualified candidate, and I'm being placed into positions that are definitely under my skill set and things that I've really already done, but the reason that that's happening is because I am starting from scratch. So I'm new here and I don't have the opportunity to start up at a higher up position where I should actually be. And so I'm finding that it's a bit of a challenge because I'm quite bored in a lot of the jobs that I've been doing because I feel overqualified. So it's kind of like a challenge in the sense that I really need to show that I can and should be up at a higher position. So I'm really trying to fight for what I think I deserve, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about how I am fighting this challenge of being professional and being a great candidate to have a career. Like, my lifelong dream is to have a very professional career and doing something that I love. I want to wake up every day and be excited to go to work. That's why I moved to DC. Like, I didn't give up traveling because I didn't like it. I gave it up because I want to do something that makes me happy and I feel like I have a bigger purpose in the world. So I'm not giving up traveling forever. I want to find a position that allows me to incorporate all of the experiences and skills and languages that I've learned throughout these past years and use them to make a change in the world. I want to make an impact on people's lives, and I really was finding that being abroad I wasn't able to do that, so I'm really hoping that being here I can do that, and hopefully working in the government, maybe I could work for an international sector of the government and really see what changes I can help to create. So that's been my professional experiences here so far, and fingers crossed that something big happens in the future. I always have worked so hard to get the things that I've wanted to. So, you know, moving to South Korea was a challenge, and also saving up to get my master's was a challenge, and getting my master's was a challenge, but I finally did it. You know, like I passed all my classes, I wrote a thesis and got it published. Like, I've done some incredible things, and I really want to see what I can accomplish in my professional career now that I've done those things. The second thing that I have been adjusting to is finding friends. So it's never been too much of a challenge for me to find friends because I really like to go to places by myself, and I find that when you go by yourself to different situations, you're more open and willing to speak to strangers. And so because of that, I've actually met a lot of people being here, and I'm really enjoying getting to know new people. And also with new people comes new activities. So I've been doing activities that I normally have not done. And some examples are doing language exchange. So I'm going and I'm learning Spanish. I joined a soccer league. I joined a book club. I have been going to basketball games and hockey games at the Capital One Arena. I have also been going to different restaurants and coffee shops. I have started to recently go to a church called Passion City Church, and I'm really loving it, the community aspect of the church. I'm going to community group, and I'm doing a lot of different activities, and I think it's really good because it's challenging myself. And there are other activities that I really want to take on, such as learning to knit. I want to learn to play guitar, and I want to start to volunteer and recycle more. So those are some of the personal goals that I have, and it's really cool because now that I've established roots in a place, I'm able to kind of like set up and become something bigger than myself. And so it's not so much about like what I want to do, but it's more about what impact can I make on my community and what impact can I make on the world. And so I think it would be great if we could all just share if anybody, where everyone's living, because I would love to hear about where everyone's living and how they like the cities that they're living in, because I think it's really fun to share now that I'm living in a city and I'm established. So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to share with you guys, you know, what it's been like to live in Washington, D.C. and adjust from being a traveler to being more established. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about my experience, and I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. I'm gonna try to pump out some more content for 2019, and I'm really excited about it. So please leave a comment down below of what kind of content you'd like to see from me. I'm going to be continuing doing Travel Tip Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys soon. So see you next time. Bye-bye.